Facts that can save a life, part 1. If your house smells like fish for absolutely no reason, there may be an electric fire. If someone tries to kidnap you, scratch your attacker because now their DNA will be in your fingernails. If you ever find yourself buried in an avalanche, just spit. Your spit will follow gravity and you could dig the opposite direction. You wake up in the middle of the night to the smell of gas, do not turn your light switch on, it could blow up your whole house. If you accidentally disturb a beehive, do not go underwater, they will just wait for you and sting you more. Run as far away as possible and they will eventually tire out. The more colorful and vivid the animal, the more likely it's poisonous. Your pupil reflects white, like right here, you need to go see a doctor, something's wrong with your eye. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, it's because it's moving towards you. Follow for more life-saving facts. Maps that will change the way you see the world. The red areas have a higher combined population than all of the gray areas. Each of these blue states have a smaller population than Los Angeles County. This is what tree cover looks like visualized across the United States. These are what the population spikes in the United States look like. This is the amount of the world that is covered by Google Street View. These are all the railway networks that exist around the globe. This was roughly the size of the Mongolian Empire at the height of its existence in 1279 AD. Follow for more. Facts that will mess with your perception of time. Anne Frank and Martin Luther King would be the same age if they were alive today. Queen Elizabeth and Marilyn Monroe were both the same age as well. Here they are when they were both 30 years old meeting each other. George Washington died 25 years before the first dinosaur fossil was found. George Washington did not know about the existence of dinosaurs. Woolly mammoths were still walking around the earth 1,000 years after the pyramids were built. Also, Cleopatra was alive closer in time to the moon landings than the building of the Great Pyramid. NASA was already exploring space by the time scientists could agree on how plate tectonics worked. Follow for more forbidden places that you can never visit. Snake Island is an island off of the coast of Brazil filled with deadly snakes. Rising sea levels caused this piece of land to become an island, allowing for the snakes to flourish in their own environment. There are now up to 5 snakes every square meter, and you are not allowed to go here. In Svalbard, Norway, there is a global seed vault, aka the Doomsday Vault. It is the world's seed bank, storing samples of crops from all over the world just in case of a global catastrophe. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang in China holds an army of warriors made of clay. It protects the burial spot of the first emperor of China who died in 210 BC, and we only discovered this tomb in 1974. Poveglia Island in Italy was used to exile hundreds of thousands of victims of the plague. It is said to be one of the most haunted places on Earth, and a dark local legend says that 50% of the soil is made up of human remains. Follow for more. Psychology hacks you need to know. If someone is trying to make you decide something in a hurry, they're probably giving you a bad deal. Walk away. If someone's starting to have a panic attack, start breathing loudly and regularly. The person that is panicking will subconsciously start breathing with you. When someone in a group of people laughs, they tend to look at the person that they like the most. Nervousness and excitement have the same body reaction, so if you're nervous for a speech, try to convince yourself that you're actually excited. If you can get someone to contribute the idea, they are more likely to accept it. If you think someone is watching you, fake a yawn and then watch them. If you whisper to someone, it's likely that they'll whisper back, even when they have no reason to keep their voice down. Follow for more. Maps that will change the way you see the world. About 80% of Americans live to the east of this line. The longest border that France shares with any other country is actually Brazil. Each of these highlighted countries have a smaller population than Los Angeles County. The red and orange areas have about the same population. This is what the Earth looks like centered around New Zealand. This is a map of the borders between France and Belgium, and that is a French nuclear plant. This is one prediction of what Africa could look like 10 million years from now. This is a map of Africa's borders if it was divided by languages and ethnicities. This is a map of the US wealth inequality gap visualized as physical land. The 1% would own almost the entire West Coast, and 40% would own this tiny little space in Texas. Follow for more. Facts that will mess with your perception of time. If a That 90s show came out the same length of time after the 90s that 70s show came out after the 70s, it would have been made in 2017. 6% of all humans who have ever lived in the entire history of humanity are alive right now. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated only months before the founding of the Secret Service. The paperwork to create the Secret Service was on Abraham Lincoln's desk the night he died. Everything you see happened in the past, not the present. It takes about 50 milliseconds for the brain to process visual information, so by the time you've actually seen something, it's already happened. Princess Diana and Mother Teresa passed away only days apart in 1997. The Brooklyn Bridge was being built during the Battle of Little Bighorn. By the time the Pilgrims had made it to Plymouth Rock, there already was a Palace of the Governors established in New Mexico by Spanish explorers. Follow for more. Disturbing facts that will ruin your day. It is more likely than not that you are breathing incorrectly right now. This is what your face looks like if you're breathing through your nose. This is what your face looks like if you've been breathing through your mouth. Over time, mouth breathing actually changes the shape of your face to be more long and narrow with a less prominent jaw and retracted chin. Also, breathing too shallow will make you tired all the time because your muscles and brain are not getting enough oxygen. If you constantly feel like you can't think properly, this might be why. If you're worried about this, Breathwork is the app I've been using that actually shows you how to breathe properly. They actually walk you through different breaths for different reasons like anxiety, stress, sleeping better, and more. Click the link in my profile to download the app. Maps that will change the way you see the world. This map shows GPS tracking of multiple wolf packs around a national park. It really shows how often wolves just avoid each other's territories. This map shows 20 different eagles that were tracked over a 1-year period. Notice how they constantly avoid water. This is a map of occupied bald eagle nests in Wisconsin in 1974 and 2019. This is how big Japan is compared to the east coast of the United States of America. 50% of all Canadians live south of that red line. These two areas of Africa have roughly the same amount of people. Each one of these sections contains 10% of the world population. These maps show the passenger railway networks as of 2020 in each of these countries. This is the longest possible way to travel by train in the entire world. Follow for more. Facts that will change your perception of time. Tobey Maguire was the same age when No Way Home was released as Willem Dafoe was when the first Spider-Man premiered. We are as many years away now from Pearl Harbor as Pearl Harbor was from the start of the Civil War. If Anne Frank was still alive, she would still have been 7 years younger than Betty White was. This also means that Martin Luther King Jr. would have been 7 years younger than Betty White as well. Cream Puff is the oldest cat to have ever lived on record at 38 years and 3 days old. People born at the same moment in time can celebrate their birthdays on different days thanks to time zones. The last American to be executed by firing squad was in 2010, the same year that Toy Story 3 came out. Mauritania was the last country on Earth to legally criminalize slavery in 2007, the same year the iPhone came out. Follow for more. That will mess with your perception of time. To give some perspective on what it was like to be alive on Earth over the last 100 years, here are some of the inventions that were created after Betty White was born. Cotton swabs, modern traffic lights, the bulldozer, the cheeseburger, sunglasses, frozen foods, the tampon, the jukebox, masking tape, the pop-up toaster, the pressure washer, the recliner, ice cube trays, bubblegum, the bow tie, the electric razor, and penicillin. Follow for more.